Good evening, Facebook Live. Apostle Terrence Lyons of Ecclesia Ministries here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Coming to you again on tonight, bringing you tonight's Bible study. Pray that everybody's had a good week. And get everything locked down here. Get ready to rock and roll. Pray that everybody's been able again to avoid the storms, avoid the heat, and all of those fun things. Get us a couple of things in place, and we got us a barn burner tonight. Gonna be a barn burner Saturday too. So pray that everything is going well. Let me get my first scripture pulled up here, and then we will be ready to roll. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all go ahead and get your steel toes on, put your neck brace on, go ahead and get everything in place, because I'm sure you've been able to kind of understand, even from the question of just understanding how might be a little tough tonight. Who manipulated who? Cursed by manipulation. So good evening there, Cousin Michelle. Good evening there, Brother Clarence and Sister Linda. Good evening there, Overseer Melissa. Like I said, we're going to be ready to stir it up here. Let me go ahead and get things set up like I want them, and I think we're going to be good to go. Be good to go here. All right. Good evening there, sis. Get everything stirred up here. So, want to get a couple of things in place so that everybody can understand what we're dealing with, what's going on. Good evening there, Prophetess Tanisha. Kind of understand what's going on in this time and season, what's shaking, what's happening. So I want to go to a couple of verses. I want to look at that, and then we're going to dig into what we're focused on tonight. But I want you to go to 2 Kings chapter 25 and verse 3. And then we're also going to look at a couple of other verses in connection with this, but I want to show you this first. It says, and on the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine prevailed in the city, and there was no bread for the people of the land. So this is speaking of Jerusalem, things taking place with them. I also want you to look at Jeremiah 39. Jeremiah 39 and verse 2. Jeremiah 39 and verse 2 is where it says this. Jeremiah chapter 39 and verse 2 says, and in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, the city was broken up. So again, we see there's a famine. We see the city's broken up. Then I want you to look at Jeremiah 52 and verse 6. Jeremiah 52 and verse 6. Because again, I want you to just see what's really going on. Kind of help you understand what you're seeing in the atmosphere and all of that. So Jeremiah 52 and verse 6. Where it says, and in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, the famine was sore in the city, so that there was no bread for the people of the land. So I wanted you to see those three verses. It's three separate spots. It talks about the 4th month and the 9th day of the 4th month. That's tomorrow, okay? So a lot of the uneasiness, a lot of the craziness that you're kind of seeing, different things that are trying to pop up, It's all a part of the season, okay? So I don't want you to be shaken. I don't want you to be worried. I don't want you to be any of that. I want you to just make sure that you're where you need to be, where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to do. And that's why we are having the question tonight of who manipulated who. Because a lot of what's going on in the atmosphere has got a lot of you not really focused on what you believe, not focused on what you know God done said to you. Conditions, looking a little scarce, looking funny, and you're not knowing exactly what to do and how to respond, and should I do this, and should I keep this in place, and should I respond like this? And so all of that that's going on, what I want you to understand is, again, these are just tactics that the enemy can use to shake you up if you don't know what you should be doing, okay? So I wanted to put that out there before we start looking at what we're going to look at tonight, because, some of you're going to realize that you have manipulated yourself. That's what you're going to realize by the time that we're done. That's why I said put your steel toes on, put your neck brace on, get you plenty of water, because this one's going to be kind of intense, and it's going to be like that Saturday as well, because I've got to get you equipped, and you're mostly already equipped. I just got to get this thing right here straight on you. If I can help you get this right here straight, y'all gonna be straight. But we gotta cover some stuff before I can help get you there. So starting out, the first scripture I want to go to is Proverbs 29:11. And see, I know y'all like 29:11, Jeremiah 29:11. Yeah, Jeremiah 29:11 is good. Know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace, give you an expected end, and all that's good. But we need Proverbs 29:11 right now. So I want you to go to Proverbs 29:11 because there's something that I want you to pay close attention to. Gonna help get you in line. Gonna help get you straight. That's SCRAIGHT. Straight. That's what we use in the night. Straight. So I want you to see this. Proverbs 29:11. It says, "A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards." A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. So understanding that, again, we're talking about who manipulated who. Have you been cursed by manipulation? What I need for you to understand is this for our first point tonight. Everybody should not always get your thoughts. Everybody should not always get your thoughts. That's what Proverbs 29:11 is laying out here. It's saying, a fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. You need to understand how to not cast your pearls before swine. You need to understand who values your thoughts and your expressions. You need to understand who values those things. And when you have a better awareness of who values those things, it's gonna dwindle down. Watch this. Your chances of being manipulated. You say, well, how is that, Apostle? How is that, Pastor? How is that? The less people that know how you think, the less they can plot against your thinking. The less people that know how you think, that's the less people that can plot against your thinking. See, and it's what you've got to realize is that the more you put out there about you, then that gives other people the chance to plot against you. So that's why, it's few and far between sometimes when certain social media outlets hear from me. because I understand there's people that just outright want to manipulate a situation. Well, you're going to have to work to manipulate me. You're going to have to work. It's going to be some hard work for you to manipulate me because you're not going to always know my thoughts. You're not going to always know, watch this, how I truly feel. Now, there are people that are close to me that, yes, I discuss openly what I feel because I understand there's safety in the multitude of counselors. I understand that there are times that I need to bounce stuff off of people, but I don't do that with everybody. I don't, and that's the whole point. You got to make sure that you're not putting yourself out there to be able to be manipulated by multiple people, because that ain't wise. A fool uttereth all his mind. So I wanted you to get that first point, get that first thing out of the way, because again, I need for you to see a couple of things. So that since we're in Proverbs now, we're going to go to Proverbs 10. Now, it's about to get real ugly right here. I love y'all. Here's y'all's hug. Here's your kiss on the forehead. Here's your pat on the back. I'm giving you all of this before I start reading what I'm about to show you in Proverbs 10, and before I give you my second point for tonight. See, because this one gonna hurt a bunch of you, and again, I already know, but I love you. I really do. So in Proverbs 10, I says Proverbs 10, verses 18 through 21. Proverbs chapter 10, verses 18 through 21. You probably want to highlight, dog ear, triple scribble, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't ever forget Proverbs chapter 10, verses 18 through 21. See, because we tend to get stuck on Proverbs 10 and 22 a lot, but I need for you to see 18 through 21 that comes before Proverbs 10 and 22, because Proverbs 10 and 22, of course, is the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. And that's a great verse to remember. That's good to have in your arsenal. But I need for you to see verses 18 through 21 tonight, because I promise you, if you'll hear what I'm saying with this, you're going to be positioning yourself to not be manipulated and not be cursed by manipulation. So in Proverbs 10, verse 18 through 21, he says, "He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool." I'm going to read that again. "He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool." So before I go into the other verses, let me just make sure that this one is crystal clear. So when somebody asks you, are you mad? Are you angry? Did that make you mad? Did that upset you? And you say, no, I'm good. But the whole time that you're boiling, that's lying lips right there. You're covering up anger and hatred, and you're doing that with lying lips. This is saying you are a fool. I didn't write it, okay? I told y'all put your steel toes on, put your neck brace on. I gave you the hug. I did all of that, but I didn't write it, okay? The Apostle Terrence Lyons had nothing to do with writing this scripture. So here's what I need you to get. Watch verse 19. 19, he go deep there too. "In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. The tongue of the just is as choice silver. The heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. I'm just, like I said, I did not write this, okay? I'm just laying this out. I'm just putting this forward. I'm just trying to help you understand. So for all of y'all that try to say, well, I ain't mad, and you boiling inside, and you borderline ready to drop some hate mail and everything else on somebody, and ready to, you're doing the work of a fool. So here's my second point. I love y'all. I promise I do. I love y'all. That's why I'm shooting you straight today. Because I'm trying to keep you from being manipulated. Because, watch this, I'm trying to keep you from being a manipulator. Whoa. Apostle, how you going to say I'm being a manipulator? Because with what I'm fixing to say about my second point, I want to make sure that you are crystal clear on how you need to be approaching stuff, because some of y'all keep cursing your outcomes and relationships and situations by this one thing that you do that you think is helping you. So my second point is this. When you say what they want to hear just to shut them up, you just became chief manipulator and are now cursed by manipulation. I love you. But when you say what somebody else wants to hear just to shut them up, and that ain't really even what you feeling, but you just, I don't want to talk about it. When you start saying what they want to hear just to shut them up, you just became chief manipulator and are now cursed by manipulation in that situation. That's why I wanted you to see, because it says in verse, look at it, verse 18, he that hideth hatred. See, if you heat it, you might as well just go ahead and say it. Yeah, I'm hot. I am boiling. I am to the point that I can chew nails and spit fire. But if you don't know, why you're really mad, then what you need to say is, hey, yeah, I love y'all. Y'all know I just shoot straight forward. I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm hot. I'm angry. You done ticked me off. I don't really want to talk about it right now because I need to find out why I'm so mad. But yes, I'm mad. Give me a minute to process it, and then we can talk later. Because at that point, you're not hiding it. You're not lying. But you're also addressing that now is not really the time that I need to talk about it because I don't have clarity about why I'm mad. If that makes sense, y'all shoot me a thumbs up. Y'all do something, because we gotta make sure this is in place. Because, like I said, I'm about to set y'all up to have the time of your life. You're going to start having the best time of your life with relationships, with situations, business, all of these things. You're going to start to have the best of life because you're going to know how to communicate. You're going to know how to express, yeah, I'm ticked. Yeah, this is bothering me. But at the same time, knowing how to express that in such a way that it's going to be helpful for everybody involved, especially you, because if you start out by manipulating, then manipulation is what's going to run the rest of that conversation, the rest of that interaction, the rest of that situation. And I know you don't want that, but a lot of people haven't been taught how to actually manage in conflict. So now they're cursed by manipulation, because that's how they've been taught to handle conflict, to manipulate. That stops today. that stops right now. You do not want to be caught in being cursed by manipulation because you're lying about being upset. You're lying about being mad. You're lying about all of these things. So when you haven't been taught how to deal with that, and then you shut down, and now nobody, you trying to wait and make people keep talking to you. You're still trying to go to your corner and turn your shoulder and just give attitude, and well, you don't care about me because you didn't even ask what was wrong with me. Well, if I ask what was wrong and you say nothing, but you mad as you hot as a rattlesnake, you ready to strike, but you're not talking. Now, I'm finna leave you alone. I'm gonna let you go to your corner and do whatever. And then when you start playing the whole role, well, you know what you did. No, don't. You can't play that. You cannot say that, because if I'm asking you, what's wrong with you? Why are you upset? You say nothing. You just stepped into manipulation right there. So who's manipulating who? Well, you should pay closer attention. No. Again, who's manipulating who? That's why I wanted you to see that in Proverbs 10 and verse 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. I did not write it. I'm just reading it. Let me give me a drink real quick, and then we'll dig a little deeper. Okay, so let's get ready for point number 3. So point number 1 was everybody should not always get your thoughts. Point number 2, when you say what they want to hear just to shut them up, you just became chief manipulator and are now cursed by manipulation. So now let's go to our third point. I want you to go to Jeremiah chapter 48, because Jeremiah chapter 48 is about to hurt too. I didn't write it. Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 10. Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 10 says this. Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. I did not write it. I didn't write it. But I want you to see what it says. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. Here's what I need you to understand. Our third point is this. You manipulate yourself unknowingly when you speak, watch this, when you speak by feelings without regards to your belief. You manipulate yourself unknowingly when you speak by feelings without regards to your belief. Okay? So the fact that says, cursed be he, so this is the first thing. Everybody's just got it in their head. Well, I'm doing the work of the Lord. I'm at church every week. I'm doing the things that God. I'm at Bible study. You know, I'm giving to the poor. I'm evangelizing. I'm doing all of these things. But you can be doing those things deceitfully. I didn't write it. That's why I want you to see. That's why I give specific verses and places so that you can go look at it, see it for yourself, and know that I'm not just making stuff up. So you can be doing the work of the Lord deceitfully. From the pulpit to the parishioner, you could be doing the work of the Lord deceitfully. I didn't write it. Cursed be he that doeth the work, and that's a capital L, a capital O, a capital R, and a capital D. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. So in other words, doing it in a misleading fashion, doing it in a deceptive fashion. So I didn't write this, y'all. I'm just trying to help y'all have the time of your life. I'm just trying to show you how to cut back on the curses that's been going on in your life, because how many people have told you just straight up that you could be doing the work of the Lord deceitfully. That's usually not a high level conversation that's had, but I'm having it because I want you to have the time of your life. So I got to shoot you straight. I got to be straightforward with you. I got to tell you, yes, cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. So that clearly is saying you could be doing the work of the Lord, but you could be doing it deceitfully. And if you're doing it deceitfully, you're going to be cursed from it, because he ain't giving his glory to another. Okay? Now, so you manipulate yourself when you speak by feelings without regards to your belief. And I'm going to dig very deep into that on Saturday, because I need for you to understand how to start speaking from what you believe as opposed to just speaking from what you feel. I'm not telling you to negate your feelings, because that's what we've been taught in times past. That don't work either. That's got you cursing your outcomes, because you got all these wrong emotions involved in your actions that you're working and doing, and then you're still getting to the place of the blessing, but the blessing's not really being able to be enjoyed because it's got the wrong spirits tied up with it when you get to it. I love you. Okay. So now, let's get ready for our fourth point. I want you to go to Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 and verse 37. Y'all have heard these verses 1,000 times if you've been around Ecclesia for any amount of time. You're probably going to hear them 1,000 more times, because I'm going to make sure that you have got this as part of your complete DNA so that you can get where you need to get. Because as I dig deeper tonight and this coming weekend, I want to make sure that you fully understand what all's going on with Matthew 12, verse 36 and 37. So in Matthew 12, verse 36 and 37, it says this. So y'all still with me? Y'all still love me? I know I tried to forewarn y'all. I gave y'all the hugs and